Hello, my most amazing artists, and welcome back to Art Class with Mr. Mazer. Today, we're going to be working on a self-portrait. Now, before we get started with our self-portraits, I think it's a good idea to look at some examples of self-portraits from some living and non-living artists to get some inspiration. So, first off, we have this artist. His name is Vincent van Gogh, and he is most famous for painting that beautiful Starry Night painting. And if you remember the art room, there's a big mural of the Starry Night behind Mr. Mazer's desk. Now, one thing this self-portrait has in common with the Starry Night is there is a lot of movement in the background. See all those wavy lines moving around? Yes, that gives the artwork a bit more interest. It makes them look like things are moving around. Next, we have this self-portrait by Mexican painter Frida Kahlo. Now, her painting is very symmetrical, meaning it's about the same on both sides. She's facing the viewer straight on. She's got a monkey on one side, which is balanced out by a tiger or a panther on the other. You can see the butterflies in her hair are balanced, so she is very symmetrical, very equal on both sides. Next, we have very famous painter Pablo Picasso. Now, his self-portrait shows a lot of dynamic lines. You can see a lot of straight lines going on. This creates a lot of interest in his self-portrait as well. And here we have Andy Warhol. He took a photograph and turned that into a self-portrait. Now, for his self-portrait, he took that photograph and repeated. So he made repetition part of his self-portrait. And finally, we have a self-portrait by Japanese artist Yayoi Kusama. And she used a lot of bright colors and a lot of different shapes and patterns to create her self-portrait. So, now we're going to get started with our self-portraits. So what you do need today is a paper. Any kind of white paper will do. Printer paper, drawing paper, and a pencil to draw with. Now, if you would like to use a mirror, it would be a good idea, since we're drawing a portrait of ourselves, if you look in the mirror, you can see exactly what you look like, and you'll be able to copy it as closely as possible. So, I'm going to begin with my eyes. So, first thing we're going to do is start with the shape of the eye. And so the shape is going to be starting with a curve like this. Now, however wide your eye is, there should be a space in between the two eyes that is about equal to that. So I'm going to start with two curves just like that. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to balance it out with two curves underneath. And this is going to create the shape of my eye. You can see it's almost like an oval, except the edges are a little bit pointed. Now, inside that eye, we're going to add three things. We're going to add an eyelid, so that's going to be a curved line that's going to go from corner to corner. We're going to add a circle. Now, most pupils will go from the top and bottom of those eyelids. And we're going to add some eyelashes. Now, if you're using a mirror and you really look at your eyelashes, you'll see that you have them on your top eyelid and your bottom eyelid, and they are always curved lines. They are never straight, flat lines. And they're usually longer on the outside of the eye and shorter as you go inwards. Now, if you want to add some details like the pupil in the middle, you can do that too. Now, next thing we're going to draw is the eyebrow. Now, that's going to go right above your eye. And if you use a mirror, you can see what kind of shape your eyebrow is. If it's really curved and high arched, if it's more flat, it could be really thick, could be really thin. Now I have pretty thick eyebrows, so I'm going to draw my eyebrow shape here. They're going to be nice and thick, just like that. Now, next thing we're going to draw is the nose. Now, I'm going to show you a really easy way to draw a realistic nose. You're going to start by drawing a U shape. It just looks like the letter U. And you're going to make a C shape right next to it. And then a backwards C on the other side. And then to finish the nose off, you can add some little ovals in there for nostrils, and just like that. And if you want to add a line up there to make your nose, you can finish that too. Now, next we're going to do the mouth, and we're going to go a little bit below, and we're going to start with the top line on the mouth. And then we're going to add a second line. Now we have one lip. Then you're going to add another curved line underneath there. Now we have two lips. Now, once that's finished, we're going to make kind of a U shape around the face. Now, if you're using a mirror, you can see some people have more of a curve, like an oval. Some people's faces are more heart-shaped, so they're, maybe a little more pointed at the chin. So you can use a mirror and see what your chin looks more closely like. Mine's pretty oval, so I'm going to do just like that. Now, we're going to go to the sides and add some ears, just like that. Now, I always like to add some curved lines in my ears to make it look like those folds. And if you wear earrings or anything like that, you can go ahead and add those. And then we're going to add the hair. So think about what types of lines you could use to make your hair. It could be straight lines if you have very straight hair, wavy lines if you have curvy or curly hair. It's really up to you. So my hair is pretty straight, so I'm going to make some lines here. And then I'm going to draw top of my head here. Now, next we're going to add a couple little lines for the neck, and these are going to be pretty straight but curve out just a little bit. And we're going to add a nice little curve around for the top of my shirt. And then we're going to add the shoulders. The shoulders should probably come out pretty far, maybe even close to the edge of the page, just like that. And you can go ahead and fill in the bottom as you like. If you want to add some type of word or design to the shirt, you could do that. I think maybe I'll add, I think I'm going to draw Dealey on here because I'm very proud to be a Dealey teacher. And we learned how to make bubble letters last week, so if you want to do that, show off your new bubble lettering skills, go right ahead. Now, once your portrait is finished, you can feel free to add colors or patterns or designs and make it unique to you. Remember, the thing about a self-portrait is it should look like you, but it should also tell people a little bit about who you are. So think about how you can use colors, lines, and patterns to finish your portrait and show people exactly who you are. That'll be it. Now, I hope you do a good job. Remember, you can pause the video, rewind, go back if you need any help or tips on how to draw. And I can't wait to see what you create.